Welcome to the Jaron Jarvis channel. I am Jaron Jarvis. Today, I would like to introduce to you, I think, my best friend wants to kill me. What does it really mean to have a best friend? Honestly, I don't know the answer. I've been alone my whole life, socially awkward, zero communication skills, and whatnot. But despite all that, I have a best friend whom I have known for 6 months now. His name is Aiden, Gregory Aiden. And we go to college together. There's nothing special about how we met, we just happened to sit next to each other on the first day of college. As a self-aware socially awkward guy, I had no intention of making friends as a freshman. But something about Aiden, he seemed easy to talk to. Perhaps that's because he's also a loner like me, for good reason too. He's really a weirdo. I know I'm not one to talk, but he's even weirder than me. And that too, in quite a scary way. Over the 6 months I've known him, there have been times where he's tried to hurt me physically, sometimes in a pretty serious manner. For example, there was this time where he sneaked on me from behind and attempted to choke me with every ounce of his strength. Then there was the time when we were walking on the sidewalk of a busy street and he tried to push me into the oncoming traffic. All of those times, he laughed and played it off as a sick joke. And because I've never had any friends before, I just assumed it's a common thing among friends. Yes, I'm that big of an idiot. Besides, Aiden is really weak compared to me. I'm used to working out on a regular basis. So all those times he attempted to harm me, I was able to evade it, but recently, that has not been the case. I'm writing this journal, or whatever you want to call it, for a reason. And that is, if I'm ever found dead, I want Aiden to be the first suspect. At this point, I'm starting to care less whether or not he's my best friend, or my only friend for that matter. Wednesday, 28th of March 2018. Both our homes were close to our college, so we always walk home together, and part ways after a certain distance. Today was supposed to be no different. Right after classes ended, Aiden said he had some work to take care of and told me to wait outside for him. And so, I did. The campus soon became deserted, and it felt like it was just me, still waiting there. I pulled out my cell phone and was about to dial Aiden when a message suddenly popped up on the screen, "On my way. Currently running downstairs, tongue Aiden." Seeing that, I pocketed my phone and resumed waiting. Everything around me was unusually quiet, so much so that it gave me a really creepy vibe. But now that I look back at that moment, I'm glad that it was quiet, really glad. Because otherwise, I never would have heard that weird metal sound coming from above me, that made me glance up. The next thing I heard was my own loud heartbeat, upon seeing that scary bastard on the 4th floor of the building, standing by the railing, ready to drop a 20-pound kettlebell straight to my face. Being weak, he barely managed to hold on to it in the first place. And then when he finally let go of his grip, I genuinely thought my head was going to be smashed into pieces, but this ain't final destination. My body instinctively moved on its own, dodging the frighteningly loud thud that followed. Lying on the bare ground, I was only able to hear my own heavy breathing, loud heartbeats, and that eerie laughter from above. I stared up at Aiden in pure shock as he laughed like a maniac. I wanted every second of that experience to be my twisted imagination, but looking in front of me at the shattered concrete path below the kettlebell, this is reality, I thought to myself. Once Aiden reached downstairs, he again attempted to play it off as a joke, but I didn't hold back this time. I gave him a mouthful of everything that came to my mind in that paranoia. I don't know if he's really trying to kill me, or just doesn't know the difference between what could and couldn't kill a man. I really don't know, and I don't really care either. I just need to be wary of him, starting now. Monday, 2nd of April 2018. This is no fun and games anymore, I can't stay calm about this. Just what the hell is going on in my life? I really need to relax. Now, let me explain what happened today. It's almost been a week since I started being extremely cautious of Aiden. And to make things worse, he easily realized when he was being avoided. He did not like that, at all. Even today during lunchtime, he asked me if I wanted to have lunch with him. I thought I managed to act pretty genuine about not being hungry, and thus avoided him. Actually, I had some snacks in my backpack, so I decided to have that rather than going to the cafeteria. Because I still didn't want to take any chances. If he were to return and see me eating, he'd realize I lied to him. So, I went up to the roof of the building. In our college, that space is basically off limits to the students, but apparently, they don't take measures to ensure that. And so, standing up there, I subtly pulled out the bag of chips from my backpack and proceeded with it. It was pretty windy and I was standing right by the railing, trying my best to clear my mind off everything. It was right when I grabbed the last few bits of the chips from inside the packet, the wind blew and some of the seasoning flew into my eyes. Feeling really uncomfortable, I diverted my entire attention on rubbing my eyes with my backhand. While the rest of my body was as relaxed as it could be, I wasn't able to notice that feeling in my legs instantly, not until my feet were lifted off the floor with a disturbing amount of force. I knew I felt that grip before, back when he attempted to choke me. It was only when I was in 180-degree angle, off the edge of the roof, I attempted a struggle to escape, and I did, but I was already over the edge, facing straight down at the ground, 50 feet below. As athletic as I was, I still wouldn't have lived if my arm wasn't long enough to reach the railing at the very last second. However, the nightmare didn't end there. That familiar face was right above me, as I attempted to climb back over. That face, his unsettling wide smile. It was as though my lips were glued together, words couldn't escape my mouth. "Cut this shit, Aiden." I wanted to shout at him, but couldn't. Realizing it was pointless, I used my energy to climb back up. I pulled my arms, gripping the railing, and my body lifted a few inches, and then fell back just like that. I saw that same unsettling face staring down at me, with both his hands over mine. Realizing he was ripping my grip off the only support I had, I shouted, "What the hell are you doing?" He didn't respond, but he stopped smiling, and then I felt a sharp pain below the nails of both my hands immediately after which, he seemed like he was drifting away from me. I no longer felt the cold metal railing on my hands, and my body felt free, falling down. Ugh. I suddenly moaned in discomfort. Looking up, I was still able to see him not too far away from my face. The same cold metal, I was able to feel it again on my hands, but with an added pain in my wrist bone. That's right. It took me a while to realize that I had managed to grab onto the railing, the floor right below. Aiden disappeared from my sight, failing to kill me yet again. And many unfamiliar faces filled my view instead, to rescue me. Even as everyone asked me what the hell happened, I was still in disbelief myself. That bastard almost succeeded in killing me. Should it really be a surprise that I ended up reporting him to the university after that? This is not a joke anymore. I don't have to be wary of him, I need to stay clear of him. Then it wasn't long before I learned, he disappeared from the campus, yet another reason to think, will this nightmare ever end? Fearing my own safety now more than ever, I reported him to the police as well. This nightmare needs to end soon. I want to go back to being a loner and find some peace for myself. Is that too much to ask? Wednesday, 4th of April 2018. What the fuck did I just do? What the fuck is even going on? Aiden, No, this did not just happen. Why am I typing this? That's right. Because this is the truth. I want you all to know the truth. I need to first calm down. I heard from the police almost immediately, 2 days ago. I learned that he was no longer at his home. But he didn't vacate the room, rather he just ran away. But the question where? Is what kept me away those following nights. I haven't even been to college in 2 days. I had that thing called hope. Hope that he'll soon be caught, and this curse will be finally lifted, and then I can finally go to sleep in peace. Now that I think about it, fuck that hope. Just like the last 2 nights, I wasn't able to sleep tonight either. I wish I did because then I would have died. And this nightmare would have finally ended. Instead, I had my eyes wide open while remaining in bed with no blanket over me since it was really warm. I was sweating too. But then amidst that heat, A shiver went down my spine as I heard my front door creak open and close. I felt my own body shaking, sweating, and out of control. Hearing my own heartbeat, I chose to leave the bed, not to make the dumb decision of checking it out. Hell no, I already know who it is, but rather to lock my bedroom door. Taking silent steps with my bare foot, I reached the knob lock. Holding my breath, I tried to quietly turn the lock. I managed to turn it halfway without making a sound when suddenly the door forced open from the other side. Paranoid, I pushed myself against the door and promptly bolted it. As the forceful attempt at opening the locked wooden door continued, I quickly pulled out my phone and dialed 911, 911. What's your emergency? He's in my house, he's in my house, I whispered in pure fear, amidst the loud banging against the door. Who's in the house, sir? The banging suddenly stopped. I assumed he must have realized I was on the phone with the police. My fry. Then a loud noise followed, a gunshot. I looked over at the doorknob, to see the scraps of broken wood right above the knob. He's trying to kill me, I spoke fast. He's trying to kill me. Who's trying to kill you, sir? The dispatcher was a useless moron. My eyes searched my own room in fear, trying to find something to. Another gunshot followed. Sir? You there? I dropped my phone to the floor, and crawled my way to the desk drawer, right beside my bed. I opened the top drawer and picked it up, my Swiss Army knife. My hands were still shaking, my body was still sweaty, and my heartbeat was loud as ever. I gathered up the courage and faced the door. I'll kill him this time, the thought manifested my mind. But there was still a drop of hesitation, which disappeared as the next gunshot followed and the door swung open. I launched at him with the open knife in my hand, and a handgun in his. It was that same unsettling smile again as he pointed the gun at my face. Being just within my reach, I grabbed that gun and pointed its barrel down. The final gunshot followed, and blood was everywhere. On me, on him, on his neck where my knife was driven into. That same smile remained, as he lifelessly dropped down to the floor with my knife still stuck into his neck, and the gun still in his hand. Did I act on self-defense, or did I really just kill him because I wanted to? The answer is something I don't ever want to know. There it is, I hear the sirens. I don't know where I'm going to end up. I don't even know where I belong. But this is the truth, and I'm posting this for everyone to see, everyone who might know what having a best friend truly means.